Hi, my name is Nowshir Engineer. I am currently the founder and executive director of EMDI, Institute of Media and Communication. EMDI is a small private institute which was set up back in India in 2002 and in Dubai in 2004, offering courses for, as I say, the creative media industry as such. What happened was actually, it's, as I call it, a random act of madness probably in the first year. What happened was, in my MBA, there were three of us batchmates. So myself and one colleague and one senior batchmate. So myself, a guy called Deepak Chaudhary and a lady called Jimmy Nagde. So three of us were in our MBA. I was working with a bank for 3 months handling retail events, and these two other colleagues were handling all cultural events, so your big awards, your concerts, etc. What happened is, at the bank, the bank managers say, Nowshir, bring 20 of your MBA friends, I need some help on this event. So whether it's a product launch, credit card launch, ATM launch, or a bank launch. And my friends would love to work. Can I meet the celebrity who's endorsing the product? Can I have good food? Can we go to this venue, etc. And similarly, when Deepak and Jimmy, my partners, were working on the glamour events, the same aspect was, Nowshir, we want 100 people to work on this event. So you, your friends, mother, brother, father, sister, whoever's involved, come and help us. And the companies were willing to pay, students are willing to join, and that's when we said, hey, there's a training opportunity. If there's such a huge demand and such a huge supply, but no one knows what we're doing in event management, which was the core area where we started off our training in, we said, let's go forward and set up a training institute. Now, just fresh out of the MBA, none of us had experience to teach ourselves. Usually education is perceived to be someone who's been there in the industry, done it, and sets up an institute. We said, if I don't have an institute, what do we do? So the way I got my first job was visiting faculty from the bank came, did a guest lecture once. I said, son, what are you doing? I said, nothing. You know, he's like, I like your questions and your ideas you've come out with. Send me your CV. 3 days later, I got a job. So I said, if I start a college or a school institute, I want the same thing to happen with every lecture. So I said, we will not hire any full-time teachers. So EMDI is based on a philosophy where we invite for every lecture industry professionals to teach. The second thing what we do is, whenever they're actually doing their events, they take our students to work with them. And the third thing is, because they teach and they use them part-time, they usually hire them full-time. So our placements grow. That's how EMDI was set up, just on an idea that event management needed training, a lot of demand, a lot of supply, and the best way to train is inviting industry experts to teach it.
What are the other kind of courses you offer?
We started off with event management training as a 1-year part-time diploma. Now I'm talking across India. We're based in Bombay, Pune, Bangalore, and in Dubai. So the courses that the institute offers is part-time event management. Now we started a full-time event management course. We offer a course in Dubai on advertising and media part-time. We offer the same one part-time and full-time in India. We offer a course in PR and corporate communications. We offer a course in journalism. We're offering a course in disc jockeying and music promotion. We're offering a course in radio jockeying and programming. We're offering a course in graphic design and visual communication. And we're doing short-term workshops in Adobe Photoshop, short-term workshop in wedding planning. We're doing a short-term workshop in India on the aspects of just voice training and RJing, etc. So events, advertising, PR, journalism, graphics, radio, and disc jockeying. That's the broad nutshell.
Are these courses accredited or recognized by the industry in India?
Industry, yes, because the fact is, for every course it's delivered by only industry members. So if you go to literally any ad agency, any PR events, media houses, our contacts are already pre-established. So industry, starting with EMDI, 90% of the time the guy who's interviewing you is probably lectured there. So industry, yes. In Dubai, obviously the first setup is based on Dubai Knowledge Village. Knowledge Village semi-accredits or partners your courses. And with effect of 2009, what we've done is, for all our courses, we have got City and Guilds accreditation.
Is there room for smaller players in this market?
I'd say there's a lot of room for smaller players. I'd say yes. Now when the government gets involved, if you're talking about fairly large government entities, semi-government, they look for well-established, large multinational companies because their business and the scale is huge. But fortunately, I'd say Dubai's population has got so many cultures that there's so many opportunities to service each culture. So whether it's an Indian wedding, you need Indian event planners. If it's a British or an expatriate wedding, or if it's an Arabic wedding, there's lots of things which are personal, and all our courses are based on, I'd say, more a service industry. It's not like we're a car manufacturer. It's all based on the concept. How would you do an ad, or about press, about media, or about events? It's the idea which counts. So there's a lot of scope for entrepreneurship or smaller setups. We've had our own students, batchmates coming together, setting up companies, so 3-4 people. The advent of free zones has helped speed up the process, and each one's got, say, key clients, a network of influential people where there's enough business in this space of exhibitions, events, advertising, public relations. that work can happen.
Can your courses be customized to suit companies wishing to upskill their employees?
We've not done this actively because primarily, historically, we were doing it for the open market. But sometimes, for example, there's a company which says we only want training on media. So that faculty who does outdoor media would come in and train that company specifically. So it's not that we market it, it's companies who know about us. If they ask us, yes, we've done it.
Okay, so you offer that flexibility?
Yeah, we offer it flexible. So companies say we just want 3 days on sponsorship management, for example. So you do 3 days on sponsorship management, etc.
Do you also offer flexible courses for individuals, who are working professionals?
Yeah, in fact, in Dubai as an institute system, we only offer courses on either weekday evening. So it's after 6:30 when someone finishes their work. So we encourage them. Either if they're not working, we'll make them work in internships, and in the evening they come and study. If they're working, again in the evenings they come and study. And courses like radio, music, etc. will be run on the weekends. So people who want to pursue it more as a hobby, wedding planning. We've got say 80% of the class being probably housewives, or people who are interested to organize their own wedding, organize maybe a relative's wedding. So they see it as, I'll invest 2,500 dirhams for a 2-day workshop, but the savings I can get in my wedding is probably going to be 250,000 dirhams. So it's more for the hobbyists, more for the people who want to know it as a skill. So all ours are completely flexible. Certain courses are only evenings, certain are weekends, certain we give an option.
And what's the duration of these courses on an average?
Most of them are 1 year. I'll say from events, advertising, PR, journalism and graphic design till July, the academic calendar. Your radio is a 6-month program because the content is worth 6 months, and the short ones like Adobe Photoshop or weddings are just 2 weeks.
Okay.
So there's a short term.
In these current times, media budgets are amongst the first that get slashed, and do you think that might put off aspiring media entrepreneurs, and what would your advice be to them?
I'd say yes, budgets are slashed. There's no doubt. It's not to promote anything else, but yes, I'd say 30% everything has gone down. The positive side is sometimes the bigger agencies face the brunt the first. People say, oh my god, if they're big, they're costly, let's move towards smaller boutique agencies, which is ideal for the young thrust and for the, I'd say, the entrepreneurs to say, okay, if you're doing work with XYZ, we could do the same kind of stuff in XYZ minus 20% or 50%, which people are looking for. So in difficulty, there's opportunity. But it also requires us as an institute or companies to sort of change the way we think. It's not that you can go and tell a property company, oh, that billboard costs 1 million and they'd buy it today. Now it's like, okay, what can I do? Is it required? If not a billboard, should I not invest in an exhibition, or should I not invest in a smaller press ad? Can I not do something in retail environments? Can I not tie up with people, ally with them? So it's difficult in the sense that you have to be more creative, more innovative. You have to deliver more bang for the buck, But I'd say it's not that they've completely shut down. People have to still advertise, but they're doing it in a more cost-effective manner, which is good. It keeps us on our toes in terms of we have to train them better. Not that we weren't training them better, but we have to train them even more innovatively. And it keeps even the young students saying it's not easy. You have to now network harder. You have to work a little bit harder to extract that business.
Currently, in this market, there isn't enough Arabic content made for and by Arabs. Do you see that changing in the future, and are you proactive?
I would see it changing a lot, considering especially not so much from the private sector, but more from the government sector. The government itself is now extremely gearing up towards Emiratization. They're gearing up towards actually promoting Arabic cultures. There are zones based in Abu Dhabi over here which are funds for Emiratis. So yes, it has to improve. Currently, we've not tapped that sector, but our future plans are yes, moving towards the Arabic side of it. So whether we start training in Arabic for an Arabic sector, whether we talk about culture, communication for the Arab community, we have to move towards it. Not maybe 2009, but probably 2010 onwards, I'll see a big thrust. And it has to happen, yeah. Unfortunately, the Arabic population is maybe 20% of the entire UAE demographic. So that's the reason I think it's not been looked at, because if you look at 80% of the crowd, they're not the Arabs, But this 20% is extremely important, and they're the ones who are going to stay here year on year. They're not going to leave. So I'd say you have to start moving towards it, and it's good, it's required for that.